Hello everyone, and welcome back to another reaction video of Kurzgesagt After Dark. This one is how the greed of one man changed the world. What I'm assuming is it's about the gold rush, the Californian gold rush. Well, I just based off of the thumbnail where it was a giant gold ingot. But yeah, I'm gonna watch this and I hope you guys enjoy. I've been really enjoying their second channel, and if you haven't checked out the original content already, make sure to give it a try before watching my channel. And yeah, we'll get right into it.
Bottle of shiny dust sparkles in the shopkeeper's hands as he rushes down the muddy street. The man waves his hat and yells, "Gold! Gold! Gold from the American River!" The sleepy outpost goes berserk. Carpenters abandon half-built houses, ship crews desert, shops close, and papers stop printing as everyone runs to the goldfields. It's May the 10th, 1848, and one of the largest migrations in history has...
So, 1848, we're right before the Civil War. This is definitely the Oregon Trail and just the expansion out to the west towards California. And this is a very violent time period and a very, well, if you've ever played the game, the Oregon Trail, you know exactly how it goes. It's a very miserable period. But yeah, let's get into it.
Has just begun. For the next years, this tiny village will become the most out-of-control place on Earth, San Francisco. The man with the bottle, Samuel Brannan, watches the chaos he unleashed. It's part of a plan that will make him the richest man in California.
Ooh, wait a minute.
The edge of the map. 3 years earlier, Brannan is serving as the highest-ranking Mormon in New York City, but he's already planning their escape. The Mormons' beliefs are clashing with the values of Protestant America, and their leader has just been brutally murdered by a mob in Illinois. Violence is spreading, and many are running for their lives. Brannan wants to evacuate his group west, beyond the reach of the US, and he's not the only one. In early 1846, he and over 200 fellow believers board a ship to sail around the Americas, hoping to build their religious sanctuary. They don't know that time is against them. The US government has its eyes on California as a Pacific foothold and trade post for Asia. But there's a small problem. It's not empty. Mexico has owned it since freeing itself from Spain in 1821. And owning is putting it a bit generously. Indigenous peoples have lived there for millennia, but in just the last 75 years, forced labor, violence...
Yeah, by the Spanish Christianization of the West, they've basically created slavery over the indigenous people and tried to convert them more like a profit incentive for the Spanish Inquisition. They didn't, so the way they did it was the Spaniards had these priests who tried to forcefully civilize the Native Americans, and they would get a profit incentive from their homeland. And so they would never classify them as civilized because they would want more money to be collected in the long term, and obviously forced labor and yada yada.
And disease have halved their population from what used to be 300,000. For the US, this is convenient as a weakened population means less resistance. In early 1846, US troops cross the Nueces River and start a war. Meanwhile, Brannan's ship is rounding Cape Horn, and after 6 months, they reach the village that will soon be San Francisco. But US Marines have seized the outpost just 3 weeks earlier, and the dream of a Mormon sanctuary in California is dead on arrival. Other men would be devastated, but Brannan sees opportunity. Many pass through a key stop upstream, where a Swiss immigrant named John Sutter has been carving out his own empire on stolen land, brutally exploiting the forced labor of native people. An expanding frontier outpost, but short on supplies. Brannan steps in and opens a general store right at Fort Sutter's gates. And in early 1848, fate walks into his shop. A farmhand pays for a bottle of brandy with gold dust. This news makes Brannan's brain light up like a slot machine. If one random farmhand has gold, there's more to be found.
Yeah.
Gold, gold, gold. The trail leads into the Sierra Nevada foothills, where one of Sutter's workers has spotted something glittering in the mud of the American River. Back at the fort, it's confirmed. Real, pure gold sitting in plain sight. It hits Sutter like a curse. The gold won't make him rich, but destroy him. It causes a fever that spreads like the flu and turns workers into, well, literal gold diggers. He begs his men for 6 weeks of silence to claim legal rights and finish the mill he just started building. But workers are already starting to sneak off to pan for flakes in the river, and soon entire crews vanish overnight. Gold fever is spreading, and Sam Brannan catches a brutal case. He delivers one last sermon to the San Francisco Mormons because who wants to shepherd souls when there's a fortune waiting in the dirt? He rides out to the new goldfields, bottles a sample, and races back to wave his hat and stir up the city. The news ripples outwards like a shockwave, draining towns like San Jose and Monterey like bathtubs within weeks. Brannan is already 3 steps ahead. In his shop, he's gathered picks, pans, whiskey, everything a miner could want, and sells it at an obscene markup. While a whole cow costs $4 in the city, he sells a kilo of beef for $2. Soon, his store is turning over $4,000 a day.
Profiteering.
Other sellers rush in, charging up to 1,000% over cost and getting it. Not long, and Brannan is making more monthly than most miners will see in their digging career. Instead of gold, Brannan mines the miners, and they keep coming.
I see.
Don't think you could be exploited like that. You already are. Your data is the digital gold of today, and profit-minded tricksters are sifting through it as we speak.
I love this little
Cue
owl
our
they have
partner
now.
NordVPN, your gunslinger on the internet. Their service blocks malicious websites, stops web trackers, and hides annoying pop-ups.
NordVPN.
Threat Protection Pro scans files as they download, automatically removes
NordVPN
malware,
really
and checks
loves
apps for
sponsoring,
security
like,
vulnerabilities.
They really love sponsoring history, and I've seen... It's just mainly history news.
It also warns you about risky search results or if your session has been hijacked. Your data
And
surely
found a
won't
better
make
science
cyber
videos.
criminals' cash registers ring. NordVPN can also do much more. The Dark Web Monitor instantly informs you if a data breach occurs on a site and your data is leaked on the dark web. When you're on the go, NordVPN encrypts your connection on unsecured Wi-Fi networks such as those in hotels, airports or cafes. NordVPN is compatible with all major platforms and can be used on up to 10 devices simultaneously. Get 4 extra months with the 2-year plan at nordvpn.com/nightshift. Risk-free thanks to the 30-day money-back guarantee. Now that we've got you covered, back to California.
Okay.
The Global Stampede. On December the 5th, the US president confirms it. The California gold discovery is real. Tens of thousands drop everything and head west. They call themselves the 49ers, after the year they arrive, or Argonauts, like the heroes who chase the Golden Fleece. But California is hard to reach. There's no Panama Canal and no transcontinental railroad. By land, it's a 2,000-mile trek lined with abandoned wagons and animal bones across deserts and mountains. The sea route around Cape Horn is no better, 5 to 8 months through storms that eat ships for breakfast. Some try the Panama shortcut, sail south, hike through jungle, sail north. It sounds clever until you're vomiting blood from yellow fever while mosquitoes use you as a buffet. Meanwhile, the whole Pacific Rim has mobilized. Every major port from Valparaiso to Guangzhou sits closer to the gold than New York does. By the end of 1849, over 100,000 souls have flooded California from every inhabited continent.
Wow.
And nearly all of them funnel through San Francisco. Digging the dream. By 1851, Sam Brannan has opened an office in this boomtown and is buying up land in every direction.
Course.
He strides through the dusty streets in a tailored suit from the finest imported fabrics, a cigar in his mouth, passing the brothels, saloons and gambling hells. The people gossip about the many affairs of California's richest man. What his faith once held back, gold has let loose. The streets swarm.
That's what it says in the Bible. It's one of the sins, is gluttony and greed.
With thousands of young men, armed and half-drunk, shouting in a dozen languages, chasing the golden fever dream. In 3 years, the city has grown from a few hundred to 55,000 people, many of them immigrants. and with almost no women around, gender roles bend out of necessity. Men dance in dresses as ladies or cook and clean, roles unthinkable for white males elsewhere. Brannan strolls past the harbour, barely glancing at the hundreds of ships left behind by crews who sprinted to the mines the moment they docked. Their dreams are his opportunity. From here, shipments bound for Brannan's stores are loaded onto boats and sent upriver to Sacramento, a new fast-growing city and main gateway to the goldfields, where he aggressively bought up riverfront land. In the foothills beyond, tens of thousands are tearing the earth apart like manic rodents. Hundreds of mining camps have popped up with poetic names like Murderer's Bar or Hangtown. At
really
Indian
poetic.
Bar, hundreds of men from the US, France, Chile, Hawaii, and Mexico are crammed into a narrow canyon. Winters are harsh, food is scarce, and grizzlies so common that one resident keeps a cub as a pet because why the hell not?
Yeah, why the hell not?
You can smell the camp before you see it, as no one bothers with latrines or bathing, using every hour to dig.
Wow.
Men get sick from the filth, but there's no one to treat them, as even doctors figure digging pays better than healing. The camp is scattered with deep pits everywhere, and the once Emerald River has been choked with sluices and dams. The miners use pans, rockers, or long toms, a wooden washing trough worked by multiple men. Shovelers load dirt that passes through a metal riddle into a riffle box where gold sinks and lighter sand washes away. It's backbreaking, repetitive work. Someone screams. A miner is standing in the freezing cold water, grinning like a madman. He just pulled $350 in flakes from one pan. That's
Whoa.
years of East Coast wages.
Yeah,
The
it is.
camp erupts with cheering, backslapping, and someone fires a pistol into the air in celebration, because most miners won't see a tenth of that today, and some won't see anything for a week. Next claim over, a white miner accuses a Chilean of jumping the stake marking his mining territory. A punch lands, Spanish curses fly, and a crowd gathers and backs the white man. Foreign miners pay special taxes just to dig. Non-white miners get robbed, driven off their claims or killed, and native Californians face the worst of it. At first, some natives work claims on their own terms, but as the crowds grow, coercion takes hold. In 1851, California's governor makes it clear the plan is extermination. The state pays bounties for their heads and reimburses malicious campaigns. What unfolds is systematic, state-funded, and meets every definition of a genocide. And not only lives are destroyed, the land is too. After the fever. By 1855, just 7 years after it all began, the easy gold is gone, and the dream of getting rich with a pan is mostly dead. In the following years, camps are abandoned and mining goes industrial. High-pressure water cannons blast entire hillsides into slurry, while mercury pours into sluices to trap fine gold. Rivers turn brown with sediment, fish populations collapse, and orchards drown under silt. As large mining companies take over, California's economy evolves and the state's richest man evolves with it. Sam Brannan's name is on newspapers, resorts, banks, and railroads as he helps shape what people later start calling the Californian Dream. He also dabbles in politics, helping launch a lynch mob militia in San Francisco and briefly tries to become a state senator. But in the following years, this manic energy tears his empire down.
Really?
He starts drinking too much, and his court records read like a bar fight chronicle, assaulting a police officer, brawling in buildings he owns, or skipping bail. In 1870, his wife files for divorce, and bad investments are followed by worse ones. When Samuel Brannan dies in 1889, he leaves his children $2 each. For his burial, there's no money at all. He lies in a vault for 16 months before a nephew finally comes.
That really is just a cautionary tale when you always get too greedy and too big for your own ego. So you end up being consumed by the very thing that made you successful, and then it turns you to failure. So
To claim the body. Once the richest man in California, he's now buried in an unmarked grave.
yeah.
Aftermath. Sam Brannan understood that the real fortune wasn't in dreaming, but in selling the dream. The biggest profits went to shippers, bankers, merchants like him, and to large mining companies. Most of the thousands that chased the golden promise of quick wealth and freedom didn't find what they came for. 1 in 12 lost their lives on the way to California, in the mines, or heading home. But many more stayed. By 1900, California's population had exploded to nearly 1.5 million, and it became one of the most ethnically diverse states in America. The human tsunami also birthed an infrastructure of agriculture, manufacturing, shipping, and finance that became a blueprint. Move fast, bet big, reinvent yourself. It's the same DNA that later builds Hollywood and Silicon Valley. But the prosperity is built on stolen land, exploited labor, and genocide. Between 1846 and 1873, up
Honestly, you could just say that about most of American history.
to 16,000 native Californians were killed. Many, many more died from forced labor, starvation, and diseases, or were displaced. Their population dropped further from about 150,000 to just 30,000 by 1870. And the land itself still bleeds poison. Of all the mercury used in mining, up to 6 million kilograms were lost, and some of it is still polluting rivers, reservoirs, and San Francisco Bay. It poisons fish, contaminates soil, and it will do so for the next 10,000 years. And yet, the same momentum that destroyed also built. It reshaped a state through waves of migration, laid the infrastructure to connect a continent, and fueled an economy that transformed the world. All because we just can't resist digging up shiny rocks.
Wow. What another wonderful video. Animation is incredible, and honestly, I think it's getting better and better. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this reaction, and if you did, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!